Okay then, hello everybody, welcome back to Team Prawn Racing. Welcome back to a very soggy Monday night. I don't know if you guys have seen the Brands Hatch video or not yet, but the long and short is, not there. We crashed. Yeah, things didn't go so well. Sunday, Indy Circuit, race 1. And we crashed. Now, at a glance, car actually looks fine. Look at it. It doesn't look that bad. It just looks like I've got the bumper off. But truth of the matter is there's quite a lot more damaged under here than it initially. So, Brands Hatch mini review, qualifying Saturday. We qualified third on a massive grid. I think it was 44, 45 cars around the GP circuit. We went nearly 2 full seconds quicker than we went last year. Over the moon with that. We got down to a 34.3 on the GP. Really, really good going. Race 1, bit of a lively one. We ended up coming second. A little bit of luck, a little bit of determination. Race 2, we came fourth. Bit of a lonely one. Watch the vlog. Kind of not a great deal to report on that. That was about where we belonged in that race. Race 1, Sunday, we went out for quali on the Indy circuit. We found a 50.25. A lot of people on the grid that had previously done 49 second laps. None of them did a 49 on the Sunday. Only Josh got into the 49s. We did a 50.25, put us second on the grid, which was incredible. Capacity grid, absolutely mega on that sort of grid. Put the car second. Love it, really love it. Brands is not a power track and everyone tells me this is just a power car. We put it second. We were having a great race. I was battling Kevin Clark for a long time until he had a few issues and had to drop back. I had Alex Sidwell on my tail. Coming up behind the back marker, Tony Davies in the Forenza, and unfortunately the closing speed was very, very high. I made an assumption on where I thought Tony was going to go, not placing any blame. I assumed where he was going to go, which was up the left and take his line, because the passing car goes offline to overtake. Tony was actually trying to be helpful and was preparing to move offline to let us take the racing line up to Druids. Unfortunately, I assumed what he was going to do before it happened, and by the time I realised he was coming across to get out of the way, I was already on the right hand side. Not knowing Brands so well, the track really narrows in as you head up to Druids. Only thing I could do was take to the grass. Tried to bring it back, wasn't happening, and the result is this.
I'm okay, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah, not my happiest moment, but hey, I'm sure you've all analysed that to death after the vlog. Told me what a muppet I am. Let's crack on and get this fixed, because we've got a race at Snetterton in 6 weeks' time. So, a little damage report. It's all weird stuff, and this is why we didn't get back out for race 2. Both the headlights completely destroyed, hanging out. The slam panel is composite. If you look here, the slam panel has snapped straight through there. If you come down here, it's also snapped into many bits here. The whole bottom of the slam panel has broken. Over here, we've broken here as well. My splitter support frame was pushed back about 4 inches. Big Jim put a ratchet strap on that and pulled it using his ridiculous strength. I'd sorted that one out pretty quickly. Coming round here, our beautiful carbon wing has had a heck of a shunt, and that's split right back up to here. Our ABS Motorsport arch has broken and snapped here, which is a real shame. It's all full of spider cracks here. That's going in the bin. The gearbox oil cooler was hanging off. This fitting, I've straightened it by hand, but that was absolutely crushed. Coming down here, you can't really see. The oil filter got a battering and is dented. The fans were in the oil filter. This fan is very not round now. So that no longer turns because it's wedged on the boost pipe. Everything here has shunted back. Now, don't ask me how, but our beautiful treadstone core appears to have survived. There's actually not a mark or a dent on it, and given the speed at which that went into the barrier, I'm pretty shocked. Our mounting bar for that has gone back. That's creased there. That may well straighten out. Same with this side. And amazingly, the oil cooler, we get a bit of light, hard to, the oil cooler here doesn't appear to have whacked the rad. So I'm going to whip all that off and find out, and hopefully the rad is okay. One of the biggest miracles is that the bonnet seems to have survived. We've got a couple of little scuffs along the front, but it doesn't appear to be cracked. The the panel gaps were never great. I'm sure that's a little bit bigger because that's got a bit of a crack in it there. But you know what? Bit of resin from behind, re-lacquer that. The wing's going to go again. The bonnet has somehow survived. Right, well, headlights out, intercooler off, oil cooler off. It's already not looking quite as great as I hoped. Let me flip the camera, show you. So initially it looked okay and the car didn't leak any fluid, but the oil cooler has hit the rad pretty hard here. I'll go right in here. Look. Let me change the zoom. Look, it's pushed this fin in, it's done quite a lot of damage to that. And down here, the intercooler has come back and it's hit the core. Now, it didn't leak, and I'm sure you might run that on a road car, but look at the damage to that fin. If that gets up under pressure and it leaks, I got a big problem, and that could cost us a race. So unfortunately, I think my bill just went up by a solid 500 quid for a new CSF. Bollocks! So that's the slam panel off. We've established the CSF is dead. I think we've got away lightly here. Look, you can see a twist on that. That's been battered, but that'll just hammer straight. Much the same on the end of that chassis leg. There's a twist on it. But overall, it isn't bad. It's still pretty good. Bit of beating with a hammer, and that's going to stay straight. You see where the oil filter's been dented. Our boost pipe, look at that, has gone and hit the starter there. Big old dent in the back of our nice boost pipe, but that won't affect it. Just everything has shunted that way. What a horrible, horrible mess.
4 to 6 days later.
So, excuse the mess, but on Sunday I was up in Northampton, which is not a million miles from S3 breaker Chris. So we headed over to Chris on Sunday morning and we picked up some bits and bobs to get this beastie fixed. Now, Chris might be one of the best or quite possibly the worst things to happen to the 8L community. He has broken over 180 S3s for parts, so if you want parts for an 8L, mostly S3s, but you know, just 8L parts are all the same anyway. Chris is your man. Breaking Vag on Facebook. Based in North Stourbridge. Good guy. All round good guy. Helped me out with parts before. Did me a deal on a bumper, a slam panel, set of fans, rad support. Everything I hopefully need apart from some fittings and bits and bobs to get this back together. Thank you, Chris. Right, I'm in an almighty mess here. This stuff just takes so long. Oil cooler is mounted, slam panel is on. So the slam panel is quite heavily adapted and cut up here. Then got some fairly basic brackets, that's not currently done up. Crossbar, intercooler hangs off that as well. Once that's bolted up, that's all going to be pretty solid. Slam panel is currently loose. So many stones in there, it looks disgusting. Right, new slam panel is on, oil cooler and intercooler are on. Time to pull it all back off to get the rad in the slam panel. Right, well, I've not filmed a great deal because the sun is horrific. It's boiling hot and I really just need to crack on. New slam panel is on, boost pipes are back in, new mount is made for the oil cooler. It's time to get... Oh, new CSF is in there. Thank you very much, Regal Autosport. Super handy having them dead close with CSF importers. Time to get the treadstone back in. Then we're on to the headlights. Cool. We're getting somewhere.
2 weeks later.
Right, fast forward, who knows, 7 to 14 days later. I haven't filmed a ton of stuff because you know what, guys, I have been hacked off with this. But it's back together. It's back together. We've got a new S3 bumper on from Chris McDermott. Thank you very much, Chris. We've got a new new arch from ABS Motorsport. We've still got a few carbon repairs to do here. We're still waiting for the splitter from Ilya, which is looking incredible. Check that out in a video very shortly. But it's back together. I just turned the key. It all runs fine. I still need to take off the flat floor, the diffuser, and get rid of all the stones that are in there. But we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Right, Future Prawn here, coming to you from a very hot day in September. It's been a bit disjointed up to this point, hasn't it? I'm going to be honest. I started cleaning the front end stuff up once the new slam panel was on. I found that our CSF rad was dead. The intercooler had pushed the oil cooler. It just put some pressure on the fins. It wasn't punctured, but I wasn't happy with it. Then when I stripped it all apart and pulled the fan pack off, when it had all gone back and pushed the fans into the engine, the fans had quite badly damaged some of the tubes on the back. Wasn't leaking, but we don't bodge stuff anymore. Unfortunately, that one was going in the bin. So at that point, I sort of lost a bit of motivation for filming and documenting what I was doing. I put a call into Ryan Stewart, Powertrain Solutions, PPS, Performance Powertrain Solutions, who is also part of the kind of big group that is Regal Autosport. They are CSF UK. They did me a cracking deal on a brand new CSF rad. So thank you very much for that, guys. CSF is the only rads I will run on this car. Ever since we moved to a CSF from your generic eBay, I won't name names, but generic eBay aluminium cores for about 150 quid. Moved to the CSF, cured all our issues. First class, the only way to go on these cars. So yeah, I lost a little bit of motivation. It's a bit of a pain. The splitter was completely dead. I haven't showed you that yet, but yeah, the splitter, Ilya's Rusky Weld Fab carbon fibre splitter, completely dead, broken in half. I mean, it had been in the gravel. That was its 4th time. It's been in a pit wall. It's been everywhere. It was the toughest splitter on the planet. We do have a new one. More on that in a bit. Yeah, so sorry guys, I don't have a ton more updates about fixing the car, but it's back together. It's all okay. It's going to be at Snetterton, which you are going to see a vlog for that quite soon, hopefully. So as I went on pulling parts off the car, everything I pulled off the front end was broken. The wheel arches from ABS Motorsport that we only just fitted for this year, they were broken. Thanks to them for helping out with another new one. The slam panel was dead. The headlights were dead, but everything that was broken was also modified. So it wasn't just get a new bit, bolt it on. Get a new bit, bolt it on, work out what I did before, work out, did I repeat what I did before or could it be done better? Kind of working through everything. Most of it went back together as was. Some of it I had to kind of modernise, tweak and change, revise it, so to speak. It was just so much work. The splitter frame was dead. Chassis rails, end of them were bent, so I had to jig them about a little bit, jack them, hammer them about a bit until the new slam panel would go on. Just a nightmare. Right, well I know this lighting is not the best for you, but look, there we go. Front end is all back together. Check out the new Rusky Weld Fab carbon splitter. What an absolute monster that is. It's still only exactly 100 mil from the point to the leading edge, but it's bigger. The old one used to kind of come in through about here and meet these about here. Bigger on the corners, more area, more downforce. I've remade these end plates in carbon fibre. That might well change in the future, who knows? But I've done them in carbon for now. The bumper is on. Thank you to Chris, S3 Breaker. The man's a legend. And there we go. This was the corner that had the biggest impact. We still have a tiny sign of it. I still haven't repaired the carbon on the wing here. Don't know if you can see that. There you go. We still have a tiny sign of it. I haven't repaired the carbon split on the wing there. But the headlights are back together, all fixed up with headlight repair kits, which you can get very easily now on eBay. Everything under here is back together and looking good. And we are ready to head to Snetterton. Oh, here's another one for you. CC Funding, Chris, chap you all know very well, rebranded. They are now CC Springador Finance, CCS Finance. Chris has joined forces with a lovely chap called Aid, who I met at Snetterton quite recently, to form an all-powerful vehicle and asset finance funding machine. So if you are in the market for a new vehicle asset financing, give them a call. CCS Finance. You can find them on Facebook. You can follow the old CC Funding links from any of our old posts, and that will take you to them as well. Now, I got a couple of people to thank for things in the last few videos as well. Pre-Brands Hatch, Mark Gas and Gears absolutely pulled one out of the bag to turn the box around for us. Honestly thought I was stuffed. I thought that was it. We weren't going to have a decent box to race on, but we did. Mark turned it around. The man is a hero. Bill and the boys at Badger 5 just helping me out all the time, really. Parts, advice. It's never ending. Every session we run the car, I pull a log off the Ignitron ECU and I send it to Bill and Alex, and they go over it, send back like a revised file with little tweaks. We could not be running an engine at this output without the help of these guys. And finally, I've got to say the biggest thanks of all for that absolutely unwavering, ongoing and incredible support for the last 3 seasons now. It's Parts Garage. Al at Parts Garage is just the main man. Anything I need for the car, whether it's gaskets, plugs, fluids, cleaning products, tools, absolutely anything. Fabrication stuff, engineering advice, CAD simulations on aero programming, 3D printing, the works. Al is the main man. Now, if you're still not using Parts Garage for your parts, please do help these guys, help support us in our racing so we can keep this going. Thanks, Al. You're a legend. I've not said that enough lately. So there we go. There's a little bit of a summary of everything that's happened since Brands Hatch, the repairs I've had to do, get the car back to full health, back and ready to race again at Snetterton. The car is together, the car is working, we are ready to head to Snetterton. Hopefully you're going to see that one fairly soon. I do feel like I've let the side down a little bit with that crash, not going to lie. It was a guaranteed second place. Josh was having issues, could even have been a first, and instead we threw away that 10 points and we threw away another 8-10 points or more in the second race. And yeah, that with the DNF at Mallory has really hurt our championship. Currently sat second in Class B, just behind Josh by 4 points, I think it is at the moment, heading to Snet. Hey, these things happen. You're never going to get a perfect year. Thank you for sticking with us, guys. I think that's enough for this one. I hope you guys will like the video. I'm quite enjoying getting back into more regular vlogs. Been missing for too long. Thank you all for sticking around. Thank you all for the comments, the support, encouraging me to get back out here. Have fun. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Hopefully we can continue to grow the channel in some way. I'll see you soon. Take care, guys.